All right, today's training, we're doing this function called flatten. Write a function that flattens an array of arrays into a flat array. Your function should only do one level of flattening. So if we've got a regular array with some numbers, no levels of nesting, it just returns that array. If we've got an array of arrays, then it combines all of those arrays into like one level. But then if we've got three levels, if we've got that sort of outer level and then two more levels of nesting, it only removes one level of nesting. So in modern JavaScript, there is like a array.flat method. We're going to do this without that. I think that they don't look like they've disabled it, but probably against the spirit of the task. I guess the trick here, at least in my mind, is that we want to handle this case where there's only one level of nesting. So I guess let's start with the sort of basic answer. If we have just the second one where there's an array of arrays, we can have a result array, and then for the list, let each list within our array of array, for each list of the array, then we want to results dot concat the list, and then return the result. Let's see what we get here just on these tests. So I think I'm doing something wrong here. I think concat doesn't mutate the result array. I think it creates a new array. So let's actually do result equal result concat list and see whether that works. Interesting. So this actually does seem like it's working, at least for these sample tests. And it also works for the full suite of tests. So this was actually correct. I got it right on the first try, which is somewhat lucky, I think. I didn't go and look up the documentation for concat. Usually I would have to actually think a little bit more carefully about how this works, but we're just walking through the array step by step, and then adding the sublists to this result list at each step. Let's actually go ahead and just take a look at mdn array flat. The flat method creates a new array with all the subarray elements concatenated into it recursively up to the specified depth. Okay, so we could also, just going to comment out this version, and we can return array.flat, and then it takes a level of nesting. So I think we probably want array.flat1. Let's see if this passes the tests. So that looks like it also works. So there's this method is new. I think that this challenge is probably older than this was added to JavaScript only in the last couple of years, I think. Let's see if this has a history here. I'm not sure. This doesn't have the history of when it was actually added, but it was added, I guess, no, this is the 2024 language spec, but this doesn't say when it was added either. Array flat added to JavaScript. Added in 2019. Okay, so actually it's been there for 4 years now. So So those are some of the answers. I'm going to go ahead and submit sort of the OG answer here. There's a bunch of different ways to do this. Like almost all of the loop questions, there's a bunch of different ways that you could do it. I'm going to submit this one, and then we can browse some of the other answers that other people have tried. Interesting. So this is another version. So they're using concat on the new array. So they create that new array, and then they use concat, and then they use this apply method. It's worth looking up how apply works. It's a way of calling this this function concat, but it's sort of a little bit deeper in JavaScript. Here's another version. So this is spreading the array. So this removes a layer of nesting by using the spread operator, and then it concats that sort of spread out set of things into the array. This uses reduce, which is basically a function that does this internal thing and collects the results. This is like a function that does a loop. And it's also using concat the way that we did. Array.flat, this was another solution that we saw. This looks like our solution, but looping over things. Instead of using concat, it's using push and looping over the subarray. Concat does basically this same behavior. If the element is an array, it appends all the elements, and if it's just a normal element, then it pushes that element. So concat is useful because it does basically this behavior. This is another one that uses apply, and this is interesting. So this is concat using the spread operator again. Another one using apply. Cool. So it looks like there's a bunch of different ways to do it using concat, and it's kind of cool. All right, that's today's practice.